I believed my scheming SIL and lost my husband. How I lost a loving man to believe all women mentality. Cheating was something I had always had strong opinions about. I had been cheated on before, years ago, and the wound it left in me never fully healed. I carried that scar like a warning sign. Never again. Everyone who knew me understood this about me. I didn't forgive cheaters. I didn't give second chances. If trust was broken, it was over. Simple as that. So when whispers of infidelity touched my marriage, I didn't hesitate. I ended it. I thought I was standing by my principles, protecting my dignity. What I didn't know was that I wasn't protecting myself. I was walking straight into someone else's trap. My sister-in-law, Lisa, had always been close to me. She was Jamie's older sister, 3 years my senior, and from the moment I married into their family, she called me her sister. I thought she meant it. I thought she loved me. She confided in me, laughed with me, spent hours on the phone with me. She knew my insecurities, every one of them. Especially my jealousy over Jamie's colleague, a woman he worked long hours with. Beautiful, confident, single. I'd admitted more than once to Lisa that she made me uneasy. And Lisa listened, nodding sympathetically, promising me I had nothing to worry about. That was the first lie. Then came Emma, Lisa's best friend since childhood, the woman who, unbeknownst to me, had carried a quiet torch for Jamie since they were kids. Emma had lived through hell, a violent marriage, years of abuse, finally divorced, finally free. Everyone pitied her, everyone wanted her to heal. But in her healing, she started to look at my husband the way I did. And Lisa, ever the loyal friend, decided that Emma deserved Jamie more than I did. So they set out to make it happen. I didn't know any of this at the time. All I knew was one evening, a few months into my marriage, I overheard Lisa's voice in the kitchen. I hadn't meant to eavesdrop, but her tone was urgent, her words deliberately clear. Jamie was cheating. With his colleague. She said things too specific, too detailed, as though she wanted me to believe them without question. She was loud, louder than she needed to be. And it worked. I froze in the hallway, my stomach churning, my world collapsing with every word. When I confronted her, she acted startled, flustered, almost guilty. Then she begged me not to ruin my marriage. Told me Jamie loved me. Told me she'd do anything to protect me. And then, like poison offered in a chalice, she gave me evidence. Photos, texts, screenshots, all fake, but convincing enough to make me crumble. I believed her. I promised her I wouldn't reveal her as the source. And in my blind gratitude for her honesty, I sealed my husband's fate. The confrontation with Jamie was brutal. He denied it, of course. Over and over, he swore he hadn't cheated. But I had the proof. I had Lisa's voice in my head. I had my own insecurities screaming that the beautiful woman at his office was better than me. I refused to listen to him. I refused to consider that he might be telling the truth. Weiss, I contacted the colleague's husband, feeding him the same lies Lisa fed me. Within weeks, 2 marriages were burning to the ground. Jamie tried at first. He begged me to see reason, to trust him, to let him prove his innocence. But every time he asked me where I'd gotten the information, I stuck to my promise to Lisa. It was an anonymous tip. My silence became his conviction. Eventually, he gave up. He signed the divorce papers. He said he wanted to move on. And I was left in ashes. It should have ended there. But it didn't. Because after the dust settled, Lisa, the woman I thought was my friend, my sister, disappeared from my life. She stopped answering my calls. When I ran into her in public, she acted indifferent, cold, like I was a stranger. And then, slowly, I saw the truth unfurl in the place no one can resist flaunting their lives, Instagram. Emma and Jamie, week after week, smiling with her children, family outings, group dinners, and always Lisa at the center, smiling like a queen who had orchestrated her victory. That was when my grief turned into suspicion. Why would Lisa abandon me if she truly cared? Why would she support Emma so openly, so brazenly? Why did every puzzle piece suddenly point to one conclusion, that I had been played? I couldn't shake it. I needed answers. I needed the truth. And I was willing to go places I never thought I would to get it. Lisa had an on-again, off-again boyfriend, Mike. I was still close to his sister, and one evening, in a moment of desperation, I poured everything out to her. The doubts, the lies, the gnawing feeling that I'd destroyed my life for nothing. To my surprise, she didn't dismiss me. She told Mike. And Mike, tired of Lisa's manipulations, tired of being her pawn, agreed to help. He had her passcodes. Within hours, I had everything I needed. Messages between Lisa and Emma, screenshots, plans, photos, even the originals they'd used to doctor the evidence against Jamie. Every word was like a dagger in my chest, but also a spark in my gut. I hadn't ruined my marriage. They had weaponized my insecurities, my honesty, my trust, and turned them into a blade to cut my own throat. I broke down for days. Couldn't get out of bed. Couldn't face the world. But grief gave way to rage. And rage gave way to resolve. They thought I was weak. They thought I'd crawl away, broken, while they played house with a man I loved. They thought I'd stay silent because guilt would keep me chained. They were wrong. Revenge doesn't always mean screaming confrontations or dramatic unveilings. Sometimes, the best revenge is slow, meticulous, undeniable. The kind of truth no one can twist. I decided I wasn't going to shout. I was going to expose. Step 1 was the colleague and her husband. I owe them the truth first. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. I met her ex-husband in person, told him everything, showed him the proof. He broke down, angry, devastated, betrayed not by his wife, but by me. He had every right to hate me, and he did. But he also knew now that his marriage hadn't ended because of his wife's betrayal. It had ended because of Lisa and Emma. The guilt on my shoulders lightened just a little. I reached out to the colleague too. She never replied, but I sent her every file, every screenshot, every apology. Whether she forgave me or not, she knew the truth. Step 2 was Jamie. I drafted my words carefully. I wasn't trying to win him back. I knew that chance was gone. But he deserved the truth. He deserved to know his sister had destroyed his marriage for the sake of her friend's selfish desire. So I gathered everything Mike had sent me, compiled it neatly, and delivered it to Jamie, along with an apology, not for loving him, but for doubting him, for trusting the wrong people, for letting my insecurities win. He didn't reply immediately, but when he did, it was short and sharp. I believe you. I wish you trusted me. I'll deal with them. And deal with them he did. The fallout was swift. Lisa's family turned on her the moment Jamie revealed what she had done. Parents, cousins, everyone. She became the black sheep, the manipulator who had torn apart her own brother's life. Emma, too, was cast out, her reputation in shambles. The whispers spread through their social circles, how they had staged lies, destroyed marriages, ruined families. Friendships dissolved. Invitations dried up. They were branded as the women who couldn't win love without destroying others. Meanwhile, I rebuilt myself. Slowly, painfully, but stronger. Therapy helped. Work helped. And knowing that the truth was out, that I hadn't been crazy, that I hadn't destroyed everything on my own, helped most of all. I didn't need Jamie back. That wasn't the point. The point was that I wasn't the fool they thought I was. I wasn't the victim who would dissipate quietly. I was the woman who rose from the ashes of their lies and handed them the matches they dropped. Revenge, I learned, doesn't always taste sweet. Sometimes it's bitter, heavy, complicated. But it's justice. And justice, even when messy, is worth it. Lisa and Emma lost everything they tried to steal. And I found myself again.
Please like and subscribe to the channel.